Welcome back to Uthanax Legion, a division of the Kolat Information Network. Today we are going to continue our set review of Into the Accordlands, the soon-to-be released new set for Warlord Saga of the Storm. Today we're going to be talking about the Dwarven Forges, or as old dudes used to call it, just the Dwarves. um, Starting us off here is Anvil. So he is a +6 melee, 13 AC, level 4 um, good cleric, dwarven smith, +4 skill check, and 2 HP. Limited order. Discard a card and target your dwarven character within 2 ranks. Equip a simple shield token to that to the target. Um, what a simple shield token does is the next time that they would take damage, they can use the react to prevent one of that damage. Um, which is a it's an equipped shield. Obviously, it's a token. So it's a very neat um, design. Um, and thank goodness we actually have real tokens in this set. I didn't include it on the slideshow, but um, it's um, it's very nice to have those finally on a lot of different cards. Um, Now, I do not know how much Anvil is going to see play. Level 4 Cleric, obviously, that's going to have to come in behind your Warlord's line. +6 attack is actually darn good for a um, for a cleric, in my opinion. 13 AC is okay. I think the jury really still out on this one, and the ability. Um, I do like turning potentially useless cards in a matchup into um, something useful. Um, but we'll have to see really the how well the this ends up getting used. Now, obviously, you can also um, target itself. So I guess you could legitimately um, use the ability in a back rank, put it on him, then stun him to the front. And so he technically has 3 wounds for them to chew through. Um, in the next couple of turns, and if they can't, then you got a uh, decently statted body for to start smacking back with. Next up is Beacon. It's a level 3 multi-class fighter cleric, dwarven paladin. Makes sense. Good aligned. +6 radiant damage, 13 AC, +3 skill, 3 hit points. Limited order. Wound Beacon. Heal target adjacent non-warlord character. Limited order. Perform a melee strike for each wound on Beacon. Heal Beacon. Now, this to me, uh, this is a combination of some very interesting abilities. This is a legendary. Um, the ability to wound him and heal a non-warlord character, that's something we've seen before. On cleric actions um, and on some unique items, right? Um, except for I don't think it. I think it. You could do any target. It wasn't just non-warlords. The second ability, I don't think we have seen very often. Oh. Um, obviously, this first ability is going to be predicated on how many multiple hit point characters you have. Um, Now we do have a few cleric actions now um, that give a character plus one hit point until end of turn, um, which is Final Blessing is one of those. A nice little reprint that we've had here in Into the Accordlands. We'll talk about that when we get to cleric actions in a later video. But any of those actions, or even items that give an additional hit point, um, would make this very useful on some of your mid-level characters because there's so and also neither of these abilities um, uh, exert, which is fantastic. So you can do this even while spent. Um, so yeah, wounding him to heal something adjacent to him is fantastic. There's a lot of different um, ways that you can do that with some of the fake hit point cards that we have. The second ability is all value. You can use this, heal somebody next to you, wound him, then you can blow him. You can then heal him and do a free +6. Uh, so th this is a character that has got some mighty potential um, in 5th edition. Next up is one of the two characters you're probably going to see as the starting lineup characters in Into the Accordlands. Chant is a reprint. Um, he is a level 1 cleric, dwarf cantor, +0 melee attack, 11 AC, +2 skill, 1 hit point, and adjacent dwarven characters get +2 AC. Um, this Many of us have played with this character before. For those of us who are coming back to the game with the new release, um, obviously 11 AC is a little, you know, a little lower than average, but a front line of 3 of these gives your outside to plus 13, makes them 13 AC. Your one in the middle makes um, makes the ends up get becoming a 15 AC. So your opponent has to attack them in a specific order and make sure that they're taken out in a specific order so that they're not having to hit the middle one for the most. Um, I like that they have continued this type of design. It is simple to understand, even though it does make the board a little more complex to try to figure out. But it's usually very simple to proc once you've counted. The middle one's getting +4, the outside two are getting +2. Um, Again, this is a great starter. You're going to be torn on which one to get. We've got a new one in this review that we're going to talk about that is also fighting for the same space, but also a very good card. So the next one is Chovan Voidcaller. He is a level 5 evil cleric dwarf warlock. Um, +8 and +6. I think this is necrotic damage after looking back at it after my last video. 15 AC, +8 skill, 2 hit points, and this is also an uncommon. This is the level 5 uncommon for dwarves. Every class, or excuse me, every faction got a level got a level 5 uncommon in this set. Spend order, target a lower level character within 3 ranks, heal or wound the target. Uh, so now you can see why he is both evil um, and a cleric warlock. This is a very interesting level 5. You can obviously use it to save your own characters or to heal your own characters up. This lets you heal your warlord up. This lets you heal your 2 and 3 hit point characters. But then also, he can sit behind your front rank and wound your opponent's first and second rank characters without ever having to swing. And that, my friends, is quite dangerous for your opponent. Um, you also have your cleric tricks that you can play um, to kind of prevent damage to him, to your other characters, make their defense higher, um, give them a large bonus. Um, this is again, being a level 5, it's going to be I would say more tricky since we don't have a ton of characters that drop in the level in level 4, so you may have to do a little more work to set up um, this at least early as we go into Saga format or 5th edition. But either way, I think this is a very intriguing character to keep your eye out for. Next up is our Dwarven Dragon. This is Dark Watcher. It's a 5th level good cleric dragon. Um, it's a fiery attack, a +7 and +0, 15 AC, +7 skill, 3 hit points, unique, and may equip fighter items um, in typical dwarven fashion. Limited order, journey. Limited order, ready target item. I have a, I, um, it's going to be a very interesting beat stick, I will say. Um, I think all the dragons have their merits in their own faction as well as uh, one particular other deck. Um, this obviously leans into dwarves wanting to become encumbered or have a bunch of items, grow tall, if you will. Um, I know, I know that Christmas Tree Zod in Ancients is still a deck. Um, this is kind of interesting. Kind of interesting that he fits in that deck too. We will see how much Christmas tree iteming that you get to do with this. Um, but definitely a fun dragon to play with dwarves. Next up is Dress. This is a reprint. It's a level 1 cleric, uh, Dwarven Cantor, +1 melee attack, 12 AC, +2 skill, and 1 hit point. Your Dwarven characters in this rank gain +3 armor class, while they have 1 or more wounds. So, obviously, um, this is the type of character that you want in your front ranks, um, for your opponent to target as you move up your 2 and 3 HP characters, stunning them to the front or cavalrying them to the front line with horses, etc. Um, he also fits with again another new character, our new card and character, uh, that I'll get to farther down this list very well. Um, it makes it interesting for your opponent to, yeah, obviously he sees this and it's like, okay, now you're going to make it harder for me to hit my other characters, and so I've got to take this off the board. Very similar to what we talked about with the Deverenians. Um, the the thing is, I don't think this card is going to end up being a starting card in your army unless, at least currently, unless there are more multiple hit point characters in future sets where you can kind of set this up where now your dresses, um, pun intended, trigger, or they proc, because you have so many of these multiple hit point characters that are starting or just simply can move up, and it's like, hey, take a wound. Now I get +3 AC. So we'll see where dress fits in the dynamic of dwarves in Saga. Probably it will happen a little later, but you might can fit some of these in early decks with a bunch of the additional +1 hit point temporary card, uh, or items. Frenzy. Frenzy is also a reprint. This is a level 4 good fighter dwarf berserker. Melee is a +4 and +2, 15 AC, +6 skill, and 2 hit points. React. After Fury suffers wounds, he gains +6 attack, and his melee strikes inflict an additional wound this turn. Um, so speaking of a character that we want to get to the front lines as quick as possible, Frenzy absolutely fits that. Um, sorry, not Berserker. He's a barbarian. Whoop. uh, Misread on my part. Either way, he's hunkin' fuge, or he's hucking fuge, and yeah, if he's ready and takes a wound, I'm so sorry for what he's swinging at, because +10 and +8, ugh, it's going to hit a lot of stuff, and he's um, going to be slaughtering front ranks. Now, usually, you want to stun up your front line, your big beefy characters to the front line so that they can help protect your warlord, or you can just get up there to the front line so that you can bash sooner rather than later. Um, and um, Frenzy is going to be definitely one that you want up there very quickly. Um, Especially if you can get him to the front ranks. Your opponent wounds him, triggers his ability, and then you have a way to, I don't know, maybe heal him, and now he's even more dangerous. Um, Now there were some time periods in the original run of Warlord that I didn't play, so I'm not 100% sure how well this card was played then. But definitely in a smaller card pool, this looks powerful and dangerous at the same time, particularly for your opponent. Next up is Gadgeteer Build Blitter, a level 4 dwarf wizard, um, good aligned artificer. Um, he has electric or lightning, I think it's lightning, attack +4, +2, 15 AC, +7 skill, 2 hit points. Spend order. Target an encumbered character within 2 ranks. Ready or destroy an item equipped to the target. So he provides multi-purpose in your dwarf decks. If you're facing a heavy item deck, like another dwarf deck, you can uh, destroy an item with it. Now, um, with encumbered, the unit must have 3 or more items. So the ones that are Christmas treeing are going to be very much easier to target. Um, when a character or when a player sees this card, they're going to be like, okay, safely, the safest thing I can do is not put more than 2 items on a character, and he does nothing to me. Obviously, if you're so uh, being a being in a dwarf deck, especially an item based dwarf deck, he's already going to fit your own strategy. So you get to maybe ready an item in your deck to get an extra use out of that turn. There's definitely a few um, that we'll talk about in items in future videos. Um, but he definitely fits the dwarven flavor, and we'll see how the dwarf builds shake out in Saga to see, you know, where does he have a home in most item-based dwarf decks. Yes. Next up is our first warlord. This is the uncommon warlord Gorthos Shadow's Axe. Level 5 evil fighter, dwarf barbarian. Melee is a +5 and +0, 15 AC. Um, 7 skill, +7 skill, 4 hit points. Stalwart, so he may not be spent or stunned by opponent's card effects. Limited order. Target your barbarian. Your target barbarian gains +5 attack, +2 hit points, and an additional melee strike, base +0, while attacking this turn. The target may not perform actions other than to attack or maneuver this turn. So far we've already seen um, Frenzy, who's a barbarian. Um, there's several other barbarians that they printed in this set for dwarves. So as far as an uncommon warlord, um, it's a very interesting and even though if niche ability, you could always target yourself. You are a barbarian. Um, and I was I was very close to um, using this ability on my character in a demo game that I gave a week or so ago. Um, Unfortunately, I lost initiative and didn't get the opportunity to do it, so um, I immediately died on the next swing. So uh, the now the ability to not perform other actions other than attacking or maneuvering is relevant, and so you have to be careful how you use this ability as far as targeting and other abilities. Because I almost made that mistake. Um, well, I made that mistake once and then had to remind myself of it every other time with some of the other cards in this set. Uh, then I'm like, oh, I can't do that uh, action. Okay. Um, he is a very cool uncommon warlord, so he's typically used for draft. Um, but I like where this warlord can go in the future as far as future designs. Next up is the legendary warlord, Grand Inventor Auto. It's a level 5 good wizard dwarf artificer. +4 lightning attack, 14 AC, +12 skill, and 3 hit points. Grand Inventor Auto gains +1 levels for equipping items. Limited order. Equip a trap token to each of your characters in your front rank without a trap equipped. Um, so, what a trap token does is if they're, I think it's if they're attacked, uh, then your opponent has to pass a DC 10 or suffer a wound. Um, Obviously, that's more difficult for level 1 characters. As you go, as your their bigger characters and higher ranked characters get to the front lines, it's less of an issue, but it is definitely annoying. Now, I guess the question is, what does he fit in a build? Um, Dwarf wizards are few and far between. Um, well, what other kind of craziness can we get to? I don't know that he has a particular build now because, um, for the time being, we're going to be very early on in Saga. Um, and I do like the idea of traps. I do like the idea of making your opponent have to roll so many dice that he or she can't figure out um, um, the best way to um, deal with this. Because unfortunately, the biggest problem that it runs into is as characters get higher rank, you get the issue of higher DC, higher skill check, so that makes it very difficult to kind of um, not fail that check. And since there aren't a whole lot of other things you can do other than spell blitz, and he would have to be the person that's firing all those off right now. So again, I don't know if he has a current platform or place, but I do know that he's definitely interesting for future development. Next is Hazak of Shadow, a level 3 evil fighter dwarf barbarian. Melee is a +3 and +3, 14 AC, +3 skill, 2 hit points. Dual wield, Hazak of Shadow, and adjacent characters get +5 attack while wounded. Well, let me tell you, this thing was an absolute beating in some of the demo games. Um, just absolutely crazy. Um, if he himself is wounded, it's +8/+8, not counting weapons that you or yeah, weapons that you put on him. Um, I had him some. I think I ended up giving him two flails, which I think was the item was the item in the dwarf demo deck, and Lord have mercy, he was a beating, and yeah. Um, so when I think of dwarf barbarians, um, yeah, absolutely fits. The fact that he can give it to adjacent characters is nuts. Like late in the game in my demo, unfortunately, where I ended up losing, I had Gorthos in the front rank. Um, and so of course he was wounded, so now he's a +10/+5, um, without anything else, and it's just so ridiculous. Um, yeah, this guy's going to be a beating. So if you enjoy beat sticks and playing dwarves, you're going to like this guy. Next is Run Instigator, level 2 evil fighter dwarf barbarian, +2 attack, 14 AC, +4 skill, and 1 hit point. Limited order. Target an opposing character within 1 rank. The target performs a melee strike. After the strike, Run Investigator or Instigator performs a melee strike with advantage. So obviously they have added uh, with advantage or with disadvantage in this edition of Warlord. So just like D&D, roll with advantage is you roll two d20s. You choose the which one you want to use. With disadvantage is um, that player will roll two dice, and the opponent will get to choose which die to use. Um, so we have a little of our of a card that we have seen in the Gen Con 2023 decks, which was another Tavern Brawl. This is a very similar card where you basically get to poke one of your opponent's characters and say, "Hey, buddy, you know," gives the your mama's so fat old style jokes, and you get them to swing at you. If they don't hit, then you get to swing back harder. Um, very much barbarian style, very much dwarven style, especially drunk dwarves, which is absolutely hilarious. Um, he can do some work, but you have to plan things out properly. Um, I would like to see more barbarian cards in upcoming sets. Um, I will say though that he's definitely very fun um, to mess around with, but you got to pick your targets carefully. Um, little easier when you go into a Brine Fiend that's a +0 attack, but not guaranteed because I know he died to a Brine Fiend. So, um, very cool design, I will say. Um, we'll see how much play he gets in Saga. Obviously, in just the Into the Accordlands meta, he'll probably get some. But long term, where does he go? All right. Next up is our next warlord. This is Kurak Stonejaw. Many of you might remember him from the Gen Con 2023 early preview decks, if you will. He is a multi-class fighter and cleric, level 4, good aligned Dwarven Guardian, +8 melee attack, 16 AC, +6 skill, 4 hit points. Defend +8, riposte +8. Kurak may perform defend twice per turn and is considered adjacent to each of your dwarven characters for using it. Limited order. Perform a melee strike. If the target if the target performed a strike this turn, the strike inflicts an additional wound. A lot to unpack here. Defend +8. So you can redirect the strike to him by passing a DC 20. Your check here is going to be +8 and +6. So you have 14. You need a 6 to pass that to redirect it to him. If you redirect it to him and you have the ability to riposte. So again, 8 and 6 is 14, so you need a 6 on a riposte to be able to swing back. Um, you can do defend twice per turn, so you can protect your other dwarves, but you are the warlord, so you have to be very careful with this. Now, him being both a fighter and a cleric makes this a little easier because you have high-level cleric actions to kind of keep the wounds off him, as well as being able to protect your front rank or your big beater on the front line. Um, I really like the there are two warlords in every faction that I think are going to be the ones that are played the most. I think Kurak is going to be one of those for the dwarves. Um, we'll we'll get to the other one very shortly. Um, but I like what this one does, and the fact that you get to punch something back harder for swinging at your buddies is also a very cool and thematic design for the dwarves. Speaking of, this is the last of the four um, warlords in the booster packs slash starter decks, right? Memoriam is a level 5 good cleric dwarf scholar, +7 radiant damage, 15 AC, +9 skill, and 3 hit points. Limited order. Target your non-stunned dwarf character in the first rank. Heal and ready him. So obviously, this is leans more into the multiple hit point dwarf characters. Now, whether that's the fake character or the fake hit points using the cleric actions where you temporarily get the bonus, um, um, or if it's actually the 2 and 3 hit point characters. Either way, it's a fantastic ability where you can go Final Blessing will give him +1 HP for the turn. uh, I will swing with the character. Maybe your opponent decides to hit something else because he's already swung. Then you use Memoriam's ability. You heal the wound off that was given, ready the target, and he still has 2 hit points for the rest of the turn. And you may get another swing at him. Oh, you probably get another swing at him, which is beautiful. Um, going to take some actions, going to take some setup, obviously. Trying to outthink your opponent, but it's something that I also enjoy as far as the design goes. Not being able to target stunned characters is understandable, right? You don't want to be sending someone to be sending their level 4 and 5 ranked dwarves to the front line by stunning, and then going, oh, I'll use this ability and um, ready him, and now I can attack immediately. So I understand why they put the uh, non-stunned dwarf character. But again, I think you're either playing Kerjak, Stonejaw, or you're playing Memoriam. But both have very powerful abilities within particularly this small of a card pool. So I like the full-on theory crafting and design and flavorfulness of the Dwarf Warlords. Quartermaster Dirge. This one is extremely interesting reprint. This came in one of the sets that's very hard to get. It's a level 1 good cleric, +0 melee, 11 AC, 2 hit point or 2 skill, 1 hit point, death react. Target a dwarven character, gains +1 level for equipping items this turn, and another target character suffers -1 level for equip items this turn. Um, I don't, uh, I don't fully see how well this fits in the current um, card pool for Saga Block. um, it's a decent ability for maybe messing with your opponent's stuff. Um, I like giving +1 levels for equipping, but I really like those as static abilities and not like temporary abilities that require something else. So this one unfortunately is a miss for me here. Quicksilver Gargoyle. This is the only gargoyle that they have printed for Into the Accordlands. Sad face. This is a reprint, if I recall correctly. Level 4 good rogue gargoyle assassin. Um, +6 melee, 15 AC, +5 skill, 2 hit points. Limited react. Before it suffers wounds, radiant. This action may be performed while stunned. This is absolutely a character that you want to play in your back rank and go, I'm stunning you to the front. Dare you to hit me. You hit me. I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. I expect him to be punching people in the face very soon in Saga. Enjoy the fun with Quicksilver. Next up is uh, Quizlan Rivet, a level 3 good wizard, dwarf artificer, a fiery +0/+0 attack, 13 AC, +5 skill, 2 hit points. While encumbered, he gains +5 attack, an additional melee strike, base +0 while attacking. Well, hello there. I would like to Christmas tree you and turn you sideways on the front rank. Yeah. So wizards don't normally like to get to the front rank and punch things. This dwarf says, "Load me up and send me up, boss." Holy crap, he's gonna be a beater. Um, Now we're gonna have to be using classless items, um, and multi-class items. There are some wizard items, but I would have to look at to see how many are going to positively they're going to affect other things, um, like attack, hit points, armor class, things of that nature. Obviously, Burning Scroll does come to mind. That one's actually one that's definitely on my radar because hey, it actually busts my attack and lets me do a range strike, which is amazing. Again, we'll get to that one as we when we get to the item section. But a dwarf wizard beater, yeah, sign me up for that. Salvage, this is another reprint. Level 3, good cleric, +5 attack, 14 AC, +5 skill, 2 hit points. Limited reaction. Before a dwarf character is killed, return an armor, shield, or weapon equipped to the target to its owner's hand. Very good, very thematic, lets you reuse some of your items so that they're not, um, I won't say permanently gone, but gone to the discard pile. Um, this is as a level 3 cleric, this is also a decent sized beater too. So I mean, dwarfs getting all the beat sticks, which is not shocking, but also very cool. Um, Again, how good item-based decks will be will determine how good or how often salvage will be used. Ah, Shadow Clan Slayer. Level 2 Evil Rogue Dwarf Assassin. +3 Poison Attack, 13 AC, +3 Skill, 1 hit point, Stealth +7. Very simple, very easy to understand. I like the change to stealth. I didn't get to talk about this in the last video for Deverinians, but you can straight up maneuver into your opponent's front rank. You don't have to do a stealth check. So um, that part's amazing. Um, the the change to stealth, um, uh, you may use it a number of times equal to the character's level while in opposing formations. So normally it's a once per turn because it's limited, so you can use this while you're in your own ranks to dodge something. But then you can use it twice per turn while in an opponent's rank, or at least once per level. So you get more uses out of it. Again, this is a very simple card to understand. Um, well designed, great for new players to kind of work its way in. Um, I would definitely like to see more of the assassins and dwarfs. We had some really good ones back in the day. All right. Sunforged Smith. This is a level 2 good cleric dwarf smith, +2 radiant attack, 12 AC, +4 skill, 1 hit point. Spend order. Target your wounded dwarf. Unstun the target or the target performs a +2 melee strike. Um, right now, this is my um, level 2 starting characters. If you're going with a cleric based warlord like Memoriam or Stonejaw, where you're going to be running cleric actions, where you're going to there there is a card that unstuns a character. Um, that's a reprint. There's obviously this. You've got ways of giving your characters temporary hit points for the turn. Um, this is going to get a lot of action and is very annoying. Um, Particularly as you get the bigger beat sticks to the front line. Watch out for this one. Tinker. This is a level 2 good wizard, +2 melee, 13 AC, +2 skill, 1 hit point. Tinker may equip items regardless of class restriction and gains +1 level for equipping them. Very simple, very easy to understand. Cool ability, also fits in the item-based Christmas tree deck, if you will. Um, and also gives you access to some wizard cards that you normally wouldn't have access to in Dwarves. Again, very cool include for Saga. All right, now we get to the new starter, Tunnel Vanguard. This is a level 1 good fighter, +0 melee, only 8 AC, +0 skill, 1 HP base, but adjacent dwarves get +1 hit point. So the terror of the three of them on the front ranks, um, side by side, the middle one has 3 HP and the two on the outside have 2 HP. So at their base, next to one another, the two outside ones are basically brine fiends. The um, the one in the middle um, um, is like a brine fiend and a half. Okay. Um, so I can see that I can see sort of a give and take on, these are sort of fake hit points, right? You have to be aware that at any time you could really mess up your ranks if they kill the right one, correct? So, but even still, there's a lot of merit in having a front rank of three guys with 2 HP on the outside and 3 HP on the middle at the very least, right? And so this enchant are going to be really the two starters that are going to get the most attention, and rightfully so. Um, where these get um, very interesting is when you start getting higher level characters adjacent between two tunnel vanguards. And when your opponent goes, oh, I want to hit a tunnel vanguard and kill it, you can go anything from Final Blessing to I Have Your Back, and you can do the I Have Your Back to, oh, one of your big fighters that's moved up in between it and got 2 extra hit points, and and then their entire plan gets messed up by it. Um, this will be an amazing card, and it's going to require a a good knowledge of strategy and how to deal with this problem um, from the opponent side, but you also have to understand how to properly play with it, managing what you have between each of the vanguards, maybe what you have on the outside, um, next to the two outside vanguards, um, and how to properly redirect that strike to this. I don't want that. I don't want this dying. I want to keep my front rank together. Um, Definitely an intriguing design for Saga. And our last card is a 4th edition reprint. This is Valdemir. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a level 1 Big Dwarf um, fighter, plus 1, or excuse me, plus 0 melee attack, 13 AC, plus 0 skill, 1 hit point. Limited react. After an adjacent dwarf character equips an item, ready, Valdemir. Um, I did not play 4th edition, but uh, playing the demo deck with this, he seemed really strong, even if he was a plus 0 base, right? Um, if particularly if you get multiple of these on the front rank, you alternate between playing an item on one of them, using the react of the one that's attacked to ready, attack with another one, play an item on the next one beside it, ready it, being able to get multiple attacks or potential multiple attacks um, out of characters that um, normally don't have multiple attacks is very powerful and intriguing at the same time. And particularly in an item-based build, I can see where this is a very useful and fairly strong ability. 13 AC is not low. Um, Particularly against the front rank characters. Um, but obviously it decreases its effectiveness over time, right? All right, so that is the dwarves or the dwarven forges, as they're called these days. Um, Check back with us next week for the next review, which will be over the elves, or as they're called now, the elven branches. Until next time, no matter the game, there is no escape from the tiger.